Today's theme is illness. What should be one's attitude when one is sick and how to overcome illness?
Okay, this is a good question, and it will be an important. Uh, this is something that I should lecture to doctors and medical schools because today's medicine, as it is practiced conventionally, is oriented only towards the healing of the physical body and the human brain, psychological problems or psychiatric problems, neurological problems, biological problems, um, all illnesses related to the physical body the um and the human brain as such. However, we know that we are not just this body. This body is only a residence. It's like you being sick, you don't treat yourself, but you repair your house. But by treating your house, you're not treating yourself completely. It'll make your house more comfortable. It'll make your house more conducive to good health. But just treating the house in which you live, I don't think it's enough for total healing and even prevention. And this is perhaps the secret of my personal health. Um, and that also of the mother and so on, that we should not forget the fact that we are essentially this divine being in a human body. That we are soul. It is the divine within us. And if we can more and more identify ourselves as this energy, this soul, living this physical body, enjoying the physical life, doing physical activities and everything, but is totally a question of harmony between this soul, this divine in us, this energy, and the body, so that both are in harmony. So when disease arises, which will come, and the disease is never of the soul, not the divine energy in us is ever sick. It does not have that dimension. It doesn't belong in that area of illness. Illnesses are related to this creation, which is the manifestation of the human body and this biological creation. So illnesses arise in living creatures, as such as human beings, animals, and so on. And when illness arises, which invariably come now and then, you might get a cold, you might get stomach problems, and so on. And then some people develop serious illnesses. One has to understand that this illness is within this body, but the essential aspect of this body, of the human body, is this soul. That is what gives life to you. If this energy was not there, then you would be dead. You would not be alive. It is only when this energy, it's only when this energy leaves you that you die. Also with patients like you and everybody else, is that you consider disease or illness as something only physical and it should be treated physically only. And no. It is a physical illness, but what gave life to this body, first of all? This body was created through this energy, this soul. It first started with this Brahmanic sound, Om. So it's a Brahmanic consciousness, this soul, this divine in us. So if we are this Brahmanic energy that created this body, this evolution of life on earth, then it goes without saying that this energy, the soul, should also be involved in the process of healing. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. It is not just enough that you give tablets or you do surgery or that you give drops or chemical therapy to the body for curing a cancer, but that one uses also the patient's own consciousness, his own soul, his energy within him, which is far more important, which is far more potent than any tablet or any drops or any chemical substance. Only you can't see it, but it is very, very effective. And this is what doctors should also do. So, like the mother had said to me, no, you should not uh, just use your academic medical knowledge when you're treating people. You should also use this consciousness, Sri Aurobindo's and Mother's consciousness, the divine consciousness, in the process of healing. So you administer not a prescription, a medication, or tablets or something. Yes, if that is necessary, it helps. But then you also activate the patient's inner healing energies that come through the energy of the soul, of the Brahmanic consciousness within the patient. Even if that patient doesn't even know what the Brahmanic consciousness is, because he doesn't know how to read or write, he's just a farmer or something like that, or a coolie who never went to school, poor guy. But he has this soul, it is within him. So if he comes to me, he doesn't have to understand what is Sri Aurobindo's consciousness, this what Sri Aurobindo talks of, the supramental consciousness of all that. No, I can activate within this person his inner energy, the divine consciousness or the divine Brahmanic energy through my energy. So the doctor can apply. And the mother does that. I'm talking of the biological mother. When a woman gives birth to a child, the child cries. One does not know because the child doesn't say where the pain is, what the problem is. But the moment the mother takes the child in her arms, most often, if the pain is not too severe and so on, the child stops crying, the child stops suffering. But how does that happen? She didn't give him anything. She didn't give him tablets. She didn't give him any injection or something. She just took the baby in the arms. It is this divine energy within her. Even if she's not conscious of it, it is working on the child. Now, if she consciously gives this, then the results will be even more effective. Illness, as soon as you have a symptom of some kind of an illness or some kind of uneasiness, you should not just straight away rush to the pharmacy or to the doctor and so on. Yes, you should go to your doctor if it is severe, but first and foremost, you have to become aware of yourself. You have to center yourself, become calm, and awaken within you this divine presence. So even if you don't know how to read and write, even a coolie can repeat a mantra. And when he says Om Namo Shiva, he evokes this energy of Lord Shiva in him, or, or whichever God he worships, and tries to become one with this. Automatically, this energy lights up, and one gets the assistance for healing or overcoming this particular problem, this particular disease, or this particular symptom. I've tried this. It is very, very important. And I've seen the effect it has on my patients. That if while I'm working, while I'm treating a patient, or even talking with friends and families and so on, I transmit through my presence very consciously my inner energy, my inner awareness. So you see me just as always the same Madhuji, smiling, joking, and scolding or getting angry or whatever. But this centeredness, this awakened, when they want help, they are more open. And you give them that help what they want, medically when it is necessary, as a doctor does, but you also give him and you touch him and you awaken his inside energies, this divine Brahmanic consciousness, which is an energy, it is a life-giving energy. It created life and therefore it can heal life. And this is a very simple argument. What gives life should be able to also heal life. So we should apply. So it's all a matter of becoming conscious that illnesses come because we are in a biological body. The soul never falls ill. There is no such thing as soul illness. That the person is, no, it is a biological problem, 100% created by neurochemistry or biological biochemistry within the body that is not in balance. And you bring that in balance together with medication if necessary, but most of all, you activate this inner strength of the body. I have experienced and I've experimented, but that is a long time ago, that if you analyze a patient's blood value at the time he comes to the doctor, to me. And after I have been with him for the time that he requires, 45 minutes to an hour, it can be less, it can be more, it doesn't matter. The time is not important. We take again a blood sample to analyze the value, and you see that the blood value is significantly higher, better, and the immune system is much stronger. So the moment you awaken your inner consciousness, the moment you become centered, the moment you become quiet when you have a problem, and you go within yourself, and to help you repeat the mantra, like saying Om Namo Shri Ma, I bow down to thy feet, mother. And even more, if you consciously or visually see the divine mother and become one with her consciousness, and you take her into you, automatically your immune system goes up. And the immune system is extremely important because that is what fights back an infection or an illness. So illness is actually, the symptoms are biological, but behind it there are energies and so on. And if you can apply the most powerful energy, which is this divine consciousness, this divine presence in us, what I call Shrovinda consciousness, and you become aware of it and you become one with it, automatically it overpowers, overcomes the biological body and its capacities and assists the biological body to recuperate much faster. So, to sum up, to make it very simple to your question, how do you behave? How do you act? What do you do when you have illness? What is an illness? Illness is just a dysfunction or disbalance in your physical biological body, of your biochemistry and so on. And in order to bring it in balance, you can use medication. But most of all, if you use this inner divine consciousness that you have, everybody has, it is this life, it is what we call Atman, soul. It is the divine in the human being. If we activate the divine, become more aware of the divine consciousness, and let this divine consciousness become so powerful that it overcomes the body's capacities or goes beyond it and helps the body recuperate and become totally healthy. Even more important in illness is prevention. So why do I have to wait till I have an illness in order to take contact with the Mother or Shri Aurobindo or Lord Shri Krishna or Lord Shiva? No. If I am constantly aware of them, if I'm constantly in their presence, if they are conscious, constantly present within my own inner awareness, that already does a lot. It does prevention. And I think, not only I think, I'm convinced that at age 84, and as you know, just a few days ago, I turned 84, people said to me, how come you are in such good health? How come you look so much younger than your age? I said, it must be because of my inner state of consciousness or my inner state of being. But the most of all, I want you to understand that this inner state of being doesn't mean that you have to go walk around like sannyasis and monks chanting mantras and repeating all these mantras all the time. No, no. You have to do what you're doing. So if you're an engineer, you do your engineering work. And if you make silk saris, then continue making silk saris. And you be aware who you are from inside. And enjoy this fact that you are constantly in presence of the Mother and Shri Aurobindo with their consciousness. They are there, constant. This is something eternal, and it is beyond any medication, any medicine. And in combination, because they are also the creator, it's Brahmanic consciousness that created also your aspirin or your antibiotics. Because we say they are present in everything. And this entire evolution is a process, believe it or not, a process of the evolution of consciousness. And more this consciousness goes, more we evolve and more this humanity will grow. Unfortunately, our material world, which also is through our consciousness or through this divine creation, is going faster ahead than our understanding of ourselves and the divine within us. So basically, I think I can perform better, regardless of my degrees and everything. I can perform much better my job or my work in a state of this Shobinda consciousness or this divine Brahmanic consciousness. I can do much more. So for simple people, remember, whenever you're ill, become calm. This is the time when you should really go within you. Not meditate and ask from above. It is inside you. Go inside you and feel the presence of Lord Shri Krishna or Lord Shiva or the mother or Shrivindu. And to me, it's wonderful when I feel the mother's presence. I feel as if I'm one with the mother. There is no Madhusudan and there is no mother. It is just one consciousness, one energy, divine. And this gives you tremendous power over yourself. And in disease control or cure, healing, you are the main factor. Everything else that comes from outside through the doctor's help, surgery, medication, and all that assists. But the true healing comes from within. So, few days, I think about a week and a half ago, I was asked to go to a very famous Italian city for a very wealthy patient who was hospitalized there, and his family made me come there. And he was in a very serious condition because he had suffered from an attack of COVID, from which he had recovered, but his lungs were severely, very seriously damaged, and he had problem breathing, so they had to make him breathe through an oxygen mask. And not that was not enough. Eventually, they had to, because when you can't breathe, you become very nervous. You get very afraid. You are afraid to suffocate to death, that you will not be able to breathe and you will die. So the patient becomes very, very tense, and that makes the immune system go down. So what they do when the situation gets very bad and the person can't breathe and he's getting constantly these attacks, they intubate him. In other words, they put him with medication, they make him sleep. So he's in a medical state of coma. He's not dead, no. He sleeps because he receives substances that takes away his consciousness, and he is absolutely feelingless. He doesn't feel. You can pinch him, you can cut him with a knife, he won't feel. But he's breathing through a tube which is in his throat, and his face and everything is filled with tubes. He's fed, there's blood circulation also done artificially and everything, and he's lying there with the hope of the doctors that eventually, when the medication that are given him to heal this illness of the lungs works, then slowly they can see the value. They can measure these things with equipment that we have, his heartbeat, his neurological functions and everything. We can control all that. And when we see that he's getting better, his values, blood values are better, then we can start awakening him and taking away this narcotics that make him sleep. We remove that and slowly he wakes up, and then he can heal. Then they take the tube off, then he can breathe with his nose or with his mouth, of course with the help of oxygen in the beginning, and that way he can cure him. But it can also happen that he does not recover. In other words, eventually, even though he's being fed artificially and he is breathing artificially, if he doesn't recover, he can also die. But if he dies a peaceful death. He does not notice anything. He's absolutely calm, and he doesn't feel anything, and he passes away. And he does the transition without suffering or without getting suffocated. So these people, they did that, and I went there. I saw this patient, I met with him. I was there not very long because he was in intensive ward. They called me after I left, 2 days later or 3 days later, saying that the doctors are saying that he's not improving, he's in a very serious state. If they should not remove the life supporting system, oxygen and everything, and let him die. Almost kill him, in the sense that they take away breathing and everything, and he dies. And the wife of this man asks me, "What do you say, doctor?" I said, "My God, no, I don't think so. It's fair. As long as he's breathing, he's still alive. And if he's alive, then the divine energy within him, this consciousness, this soul, decides and can eventually overcome the illness, and he can awaken, and he can. And if the soul decides, no, this is not working, this body is not going to recover, I don't want to stay in such a sick body, it is too disabled, then the soul returns to the Brahmanic level, to the divine, and then comes back again through what we call the process of reincarnation and things like that. However, it should be the person who decides, or this divine, this soul decides, and not the doctors who should remove all the equipment and let him die. So, though his condition, and the woman immediately agreed, she knows Mother Shivinda also. Somehow, this was also another miracle, that they called me not even knowing who I am. And when I told them that I come from the ashram, they said, "My God, we know Mother and Shivinda, we believe in them, we have been to the ashram, we've been to the samadhi. They have sent you." I said, "That must be it, because how come accidentally I did not know these people?" Through one person, through one patient, another, they were introduced to me, and on the phone, on a video call. Look how miracle happens. That these are mothers and Shobindas, and already that helps. That helps because there's a connection. So it happened this way. Now I told her not to let him die, not let the doctors remove the life-sustaining equipment. And what do I learn day before yesterday? They send me a message saying that they have operated him on his lungs and he is in a stable condition. That means he's recuperating. This doesn't mean he's totally out of danger. And I told them, this is a very good sign, but this doesn't mean it's out. Let the soul, the divine in him, decide how far he's coming back and if he wants to still leave the body and go. So I have no expectations. I believe in this divine consciousness, what Shobin and Mother taught us. That this consciousness is more powerful than our judgment, more powerful than the medical knowledge of doctors. This, honest to God, is the thing that you have to remember in question of illness. That when you are not well, when somebody in your family is not well, don't get upset, don't get excited, don't get nervous, don't run like you have lost your head. No, now you have to be calm. Now you have to be in contact with Mother and Shiva. And now you have to still be joyous and have faith. And do what the doctors say with full trust. That you communicate with the soul of the doctor, even if the doctor doesn't know anything about the soul. But you are participating because you know that through him, Lord Shri Krishna is working, or Shiva is working, or Shri Ma, Mother, Divine Mother is working, or Shobhina is working with you. They are all the same. You people all have given them different names. But you do that, then you let me know how much better your health is. And this you can use on daily basis. You don't have to fall first ill to awaken all this. I'm in good health not because I was ill. I'm good health because I love life and I love this divine consciousness within which we live. And I'm totally normal. I enjoy everything about life. But most of all, I enjoy it because of them, because of Mother and Shivinda, what they gave me, because what they've taught me. They gave me true taste and true understanding of what life is all about. And this is why spirituality, there is no such thing as a spiritual life. Spirituality makes your life more beautiful, more interesting, more smiling, more enjoyable. So My advice to you people is, hey, first and foremost, when you're not feeling well, and this even while you're feeling well, I want you to every morning first collect yourself when you wake up. Sit by your bedside with your feet on the floor, sitting straight, and put your hands together as I have shown you, and just breathe deeply and repeat this mantra. Om Namo Shri Ma, Om Namo Shri Arvinda, or Om Shri Matru Mira Shri Arvinda, Sharanam Nama, and feel the presence while you repeat that. Feel this consciousness flowing through every single cell of your body and say, what a beautiful day they have made for you to enjoy life. This is why life was created, to be happy, not to become sannyasis and yogis and monks and sadhus, but to live life to its fullest in Shobindo's consciousness, in the divine consciousness, so that life is beautiful. There would be no conflicts, there would be no wars. Sure, Madhuji will still get angry at times and scold you, but you have to take all this with a smile. Is that clear to you? Any questions? Have I left something out?
Something out? Sir, when you are healing persons,
Yes.
what energy you use? Say, for example, Ganesha energy, Shiva energy. Is there
There's
any
just
particular energy
one.
you use?
It depends. I will tell you something. There is something that says stop spotlighting me. Okay, doesn't matter. Um, no, um, we can use specific energies for specific problems, depending on what the problem is, what is blocking. This you can learn what these energies are through Hinduism. Hinduism is explained very beautifully through metaphors, through very interesting stories about various energies of Ganesha, of Shiva, of Lord Sri Krishna, and so on. And then you have to transform that. Those are only images, those are fairy tales, nice stories. But you have to understand the meaning behind it, what it means, so that you know how to use these energies. What I do is that I say it's very simple. If all these energies, like Shiva, Krishna, Ganesha, and all that, derive from the Brahmanic consciousness, from Sri Aurobindo's consciousness, they are part, all together, they make this divine Sri Aurobindo consciousness or this divine Brahmanic consciousness. So I said, very simple. I put myself totally in this consciousness, and automatically that frequency that is most adequate for that particular illness will be activated and be used for helping that person. So if that person needed Shivanic energy, I don't have to cut out all the other energies and just concentrate on Shiva energy. I am all of it. I become one with this divine consciousness, within which there is also the Shivanic energy. And this Shivanic energy removes that particular problem that is confronting the patient. And so it's something so beautiful, so simple, so easy. This is not magic. This is spirituality applied. And Pragati Life wants to teach each one of you how you can be master of yourself. So that you don't have to then say, okay, my God, which energy, which. So you have to learn about all the different energies. Just become one with Mother's and Shubina's energy, and all these various energies that are very specialized and so on are all included in it. They are there. They make part and particle of it. I don't know if in your biryani, when you cook, there are several ingredients. What makes the biryani really good? All the ingredients together makes this biryani very tasty. So it doesn't matter which particular ingredient is really essential that is making it. When you eat it, you're taking all those ingredients in you. And there's perhaps one particular ingredient that is making it for you most pleasurable to enjoy this way. But it's not important because you're taking all of it. You're not just going to take one ingredient and make that biryani because it then won't taste at all. But together it does with all the other ingredients. So when you are using, when you become one with Mother's and Shubhina's consciousness and you activate that, because and you activate that within you, automatically it contaminates your patients and others, and it awakens their consciousness. And even if they don't get it here that they're awakened, it is that so powerful, is more powerful than your brain and your thoughts. So they don't experience it neurologically, but the body does, and it reacts. This man, where I went to in Italy, who now is in stable condition. Now I'm waiting to see how it goes. He's not aware of Mother or Shavindo or Shiva or Lord Shiva. He just feels inside good, and his body reacts accordingly. Here, it's all, he's sleeping. He's unconscious. But this inner consciousness is there. It's not, it has nothing to do with the brain as such. So brain is sleeping. He doesn't feel pain, he doesn't feel sound, he can't hear, he can't talk, nothing. He can't see, his eyes are closed, he's there, as if he's dead. But he's breathing. But because this energy inside is not sleeping, it does its work. I tell you, it is time that in Faculty of Medicine they start. But first, we scientists have to research a lot to understand these various energies and all that. This is why spirituality is, believe it or not, an absolute part of your daily life, your work, your profession, and everything. It is not something cut away from all that. That is why I wrote the book, Spirituality Illuminated Materialism and the Mind. And in the mind, I'm talking about the human brain and our thought processes and all that. Because everything together and only together makes this life a life worth living. This the only thing that makes sense for living and being in life and enjoying. Spirituality is not for suffering, not for aspiring and doing sacrifices. No, spirituality is something joyous. Have you ever seen Mother not smiling? My God, I have never ever seen Mother not smiling. And even now, when you look at her, when you think of her, and you see, immediately her smile overcomes you. So there is this lot of misunderstanding about spirituality, about medicine, about materialism. And tablets are material, are molecular. Chemical therapy is molecular, it's a substance. Energy is not a substance. It's not a tablet, it's not a molecule. Powerful. Because it is not molecular. It can go through walls, it can go through distances instantaneously. But man can't instantaneously fly or be from here, right now, from Germany, in Pondicherry immediately. No, my thoughts can be. This energy can go immediately, instantaneously. It is at the Samadhi, at the feet of the Samadhi, to make it nice and more romantic and so beautiful. So I request you all that when you have a problem, first go within yourself, calm down. And to your question, Vishal, how I apply not one specific energy. I awaken through this inner consciousness, the consciousness of the person, and then that particular energy required. And if that is Shivanic, that it helps. In certain cases, I could, in certain, not illnesses, but in certain situations in life, where certain obstacles have to be removed. Then you use the power of Sri Ma Kali or Lord Shiva, who opens up the way, liberates the way, frees the way, and your project gets done. So for certain politicians and so on, I can help them see that the obstacles, the oppositions are removed, and the truth wins. That is different. In illnesses, you ask me how I do it. If it is necessary, yes. If I see specifically right now, Madhusudan, just apply very powerful Shivanic energy to this patient. then I activate only that and see that his Shivanic energy is activated, awakened, and then it does the job. There's a lot you can learn from Hinduism, and even I want to know a lot about Hinduism. So I'm looking forward one day to meet a Hindu scholar who understands without prejudice and without superstition Hinduism. Sri Aurobindo is the best master for it, but I'm too lazy to read all these books. No, it'll come. But I basically know, yes, but I can't explain it to you like a scholar, a Hindu scholar will explain. Any other questions?
Madhuji, I was asking what should be one's attitude towards medicine? How much medicine should one take, or should he avoid medicine as long as possible, or when is the right time to take medicine? Or what should be one's attitude towards medicine?
Very simple. Medication should be taken only as required by the body, and that should be decided truly by a competent physician. That is why he studies. Self medication is not a wise thing. So, and the quantity of medications you take decides also the doctor, but there too you have to help him. When you yourself become very conscious of your body and what you're taking in, then you will notice that this medication is too strong or too weak or it's not having effect. But don't do it psychologically. You have to really be identified with yourself and your body and observe it well, and then say to the doctor, yes, it's working, or I think it is too strong, or it's not strong enough. What do you think, doctor? And the doctor will measure your values or analyze your values and say, yes, okay, we should diminish it or increase it. But your attitude towards medicine should be that we take medication only when it is necessary. Even healthy things, you don't take just, even if it is something that is, let's say, from Ayurveda, which is 100% from nature, it's natural, it's from herbs.
Oh,
And
oh.
and and my advice is that if it is not necessary, you don't take. You should not take. If you don't require vitamin C, I don't see why you should take extra vitamin C, because your body will reject it anyway. And why put something in your body that's not required? It's the same thing, Shrikant, as your food. I think one of the major causes of human illness is our eating habits, the quantity and the quality of what we eat. So most of the time I've seen that the big problem is the quantity, that people eat too much more than they require. And that is wrong. So the same thing about medication. So food, I would not eat if I did not need to, because I've eaten. I had lunch. So now if you offer me a second lunch, I say, no, I already had my lunch. Why should I, even if it is something very delicious? At best, my taste is just to please you, but I would not eat it. I can't do that to my body. My body should be respected. My digestive system is dependent on me. So if I put something in my mouth, my digestive system is confronted with what I've put down. So no, I say no. So I ask you also regarding medication, don't take medication at all if it is not necessary. And if you do take, then it should be with advice of a good physician. And again, there are certain products which don't require a physician's prescription but even there, only when you see that the need is there, but not because it's something not harmful to you that you take it. No, you don't put in your body. Don't take into yourself anything that does not belong to the body. And this is why I don't agree. Food and water is something important. We need that. But you don't need tobacco, you don't need to smoke, you don't need to take drugs, you don't need to take alcohol. These are not requirements of the body. So I want you to be very conscious. Don't say, okay, because Madhuji enjoys a glass of good red wine, so it's good for you. No. If you can avoid alcohol, that's the best way. Sure, why not? Why should you put something in your body that you don't require? But if you enjoy, okay, now and then, but then again, with great self-control and self-consciousness, you're taking something. So I'm totally aware of what I'm drinking, what I'm eating. And that's why I enjoy it. This is why I don't like to eat with many people together, because if I'm with others, I'm obliged to talk to them or they ask me questions and all that. But if I'm eating, I want to concentrate on the food because it is so delicious. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to talk. And you should concentrate on that food. And already there begins the digestive process through your consciousness, that before you put it in, already you and your food have made a connection, energetic. Because there's energy in everything, in your food, in your thoughts, in everything. So you see how interesting this life is when you're talking of these occult energies and spirituality. This is spirituality when you're aware of the energy of the food you're eating. And you can feel it, enjoy it. You know, the food in the ashram dining room is absolutely simple, but it is absolutely divine in taste and quality. It doesn't have a lot of spices, this, that, and all the talala, or vavavoom, as my nephew would say, because there's not no chilies in it. Consider it a divine privilege. But then I'm totally silent, because this is what I like about the ashram dining room, that people are very silent when they're eating. You don't see people talking to each other and shouting and everybody. And in the days when mother was there, my God, it was even better. Even better. We sat all on the floor, down on the, yes, there were mats and little small tables on which we ate in the lotus position where the Indians sit and all that. But it was nice. Even now, it's nice. We sit on the table. I find it more comfortable sitting at the table right now than when I was a child. It's more difficult um, sitting with crossed legs. So it's all a matter of quantity and need. First of all, the need, and then the quantity goes based on need. If you're still hungry, sure, you can take a little more. But there, watch out, because most people, I think 99% of people overeat. 99%, if not more than 99%. So if you watch out, you can already improve your health by taking quantities that are not very huge. So Shrikant, my answer about medication is only if it is necessary, always with your physician's consent and awareness. And I want you all always to have full faith in your doctors. If you work with a doctor, then you should give him the benefit that you cooperate with him also through your energy, saying, okay, I will trust him, I will not be skeptical. He has studied, I have not. He knows. But then you have to give him feedback, how you feel, how you're reacting to a medication. That is perfect. You're right to say, this is not working, I'm still having pain, or the pain is bigger, or I don't feel good when I take this medication. All that you can discuss with him. But you still have to trust him. And if you see that he's not trustworthy, then change. But I think, I certainly think 99% of the doctors, if 99.99% of the doctors are reliable, or at least they should be. I respect my colleagues. I respect everybody that is in the profession of healing, because unfortunately today, too many young people are going into medicine for earning money. And that is not the right attitude for medicine. It should be service to humanity through this particular profession. Just like a mechanic, he's devoted to his mechanical work. So should a doctor also be devoted to his medical work and not think about how much money he can make by prescribing more medications and all that. No. Any other questions? I think everybody knows that I'm coming on the 5th. I'm arriving in Italy, and I'll come back on the 16th. In India, I will arrive in Bangalore on the 30th, and I'll be there in India. My flight back is on the 5th of June. But if the house in which we are going to live is ready and I can fly back earlier, I might fly back earlier. We will see, because there's a lot to be done after the house has been built, is completed. I have to furnish it and get everything as much possible done before I return. So I'll try to return as booked on the 5th, because if I change, I'm allowed to change, but it might cost me more. And if it is unnecessary waste of money, I will not do so, because I have work. I can do there a lot of work, meet with people, and also for the house. Okay, before we close, Why don't we just for 1 minute, everybody closes his eyes and they should repeat within their head this mantra where I said Om Namo Shri Matru Mira Shri Aravinda Sharanam Nama. And this, they should just repeat it in the head and feel the energy Mother and Shobindo in every cell of their body. Close your eyes and listen. Om Shri Matru Mira Shri Aravinda Sharanam Mama. Thank you. Namaste, everybody. Have a happy, healthy life. And remember to be happy. If you're happy, you are united with the divine. So become happy. Enjoy life. Say everything. Yes, happiness is a question of attitude. So take a positive attitude towards life. Say, I'm happy. Don't think about your problems. Just say you are happy and you will see you will be happy.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste. Pranam.